So Fox is continuing to melt down as momentum and energy is with Vice President Kamala Harris. I've never seen Fox in such disarray. They're trying to help Donald Trump with the talking points. Take a look at this. This is Sean Hannity on his show last night saying, look, don't worry, folks. All of this energy and momentum, it's just the honeymoon period. Here, watch this.
Now, tonight also, the Democratic Party, you need to understand what's happening here. This is Kamala's honeymoon period. She is experiencing a sugar high, a feeling of relief and enthusiasm that the guy that can't walk and talk, that's dazed and confused, the guy that mumbles and bumbles and stumbles, thank God it's not him. It's a honeymoon. It's a sugar high. But mark my words, it will be short-lived.
Then Sean Hannity pivots and says, could you imagine the foreign leaders? They're going to laugh at Kamala Harris because she giggles. That's what they're going with, that she giggles? What are you even talking about? Here, play this clip.
One thing I can tell you is that, I don't care if it's China, Iran, North Korea, Russia, they never feared Joe Biden. They did fear Donald Trump. They won't fear Kamala Harris. They'll laugh at Kamala Harris because that's what she does half the time anyway. She giggles away, her time. I don't think they'll take her seriously because I don't think she's a serious person.
No, I think the foreign leaders, our allies, laugh at Donald Trump. I think they quite literally laughed at him. I think we actually have footage of Donald Trump speaking at the United Nations where people laughed at him because he was so pathetic and made the United States look so bad on the world stage. Remember when Trump spoke to the UN and people quite literally laughed at him? Here, play this clip.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
And by the way, while we're on that topic, remember when Donald Trump appointed Ivanka to represent the United States at the G7 and in other kind of foreign conferences? And then Ivanka tried to get in on the conversations with world leaders. And they were like, can we get this weirdo family away from us? Remember this clip? Play the clip.
Social justice.
It's all, yeah.
As soon as you start talking about the economic aspect of it, though, a lot of people start listening who wouldn't otherwise listen.
And the same with the defense side of it.
Yeah.
In terms of the whole sort of ecosystem. It's been very male-dominated.
What I like, too, is that Democrats are now going on Fox and they're pushing back. Here is Democratic Congressmember Jamie Raskin. He's on there with James Comer, and he's just there laughing and mocking James Comer. MAGA Republican, I'm James Comer. Here, play this clip.
I'll just say, I think Chairman Comer did a magnificent job exonerating Joe Biden of all the fraudulent charges that were raised against him in this Congress. And of course, there was no high crime, no misdemeanor. And Joe Biden is a passionate public servant filled with integrity.
Nobody's buying that. Nobody's buying what he's selling on that.
America's buying it. The reservoir of love for Joe Biden is deep and really bottomless in America.
You do disagree on a lot of things, as we can point out.
Then the MAGA Republicans have to lean into racism because they can't stop themselves. You've got Jesse Waters. And by the way, poor Jesse Waters' mom. Remember when Jesse Waters' mom called in? Jesse Waters' mom's pro-democracy. I hear she's a fan of the MeidasTouch network. And she went on air and basically told Jesse Waters, what are you doing, son? Can you please stop this behavior? Well, here's Jesse Waters saying the only reason Kamala is in is because she's a DEI hire. As racist as you get. Here, play this clip.
The only reason Kamala's in the White House is because of the DEI deal Biden cut with Bernie to seal the nomination.
Then Jesse Waters has the excellent idea to bring in Ben Shapiro to the show. Yes, Ben Shapiro, who said that the Barbie movie was going to flop. Ben Shapiro has some great predictions that he makes. He also said about, I won't go there. You know what Ben Shapiro said about his wife. Anyway, here Ben Shapiro says that The reason that that this framing of a young black woman against an old white guy, and that she's a prosecutor and a felon, that this is all being manufactured. Here, play this clip.
Exactly do her qualifications look like, other than, again, the sort of intersectional magic of Kamala Harris, and the fact that Democrats have to manufacture enthusiasm for, I've never seen this much manufactured enthusiasm for anyone outside of maybe Taylor Swift's last album. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. It's so obvious. You cringe when you see it.
Here's Ben Shapiro again. It's like so pathetic. Here, play this clip.
But I don't know. They like the fact that this is a young black woman squaring off against an old white guy. They like that she's going to all just talk about abortion. And they like the fact that she was a prosecutor and he's a felon. They like that framing.
By the way, it should be noted as well that J.D. Vance, this was on CNN, is the least popular VP candidate in American history. He has a -6 point. Here's what they said. Play the clip.
It's a negative net territory. Look at that. -6 points. I will tell you, Aaron, I have gone all the way back since 1980. He is the first guy after immediately following a convention, a VP pick, who actually had a net negative favorable rating. That is underwater. The average since 2000 is plus 19 points. J.D. Vance making history in the completely wrong way.
If you have sensitive skin, you know how hard it can be to find a product that doesn't cause irritation. But today's sponsor, OneSkin, makes it easy. Their topical supplements are formulated with soothing ingredients and natural antioxidants. Plus, they're gentle enough to use every day, even if you have sensitive skin. Founded by an all-woman team of scientists, OneSkin's products are backed by extensive lab and clinical data to validate their efficacy and safety on all skin types. Not only that, they're the first and only skin longevity company to target cellular senescence, a key hallmark of aging. Their topical supplements are the easiest way to keep your skin healthy and hydrated without the harsh ingredients or irritation often found in other skincare products. For a limited time, you could try OneSkin for 15% off using the code MIDAS when you check out at oneskin.co. Give your skin the scientifically proven gentle care it deserves with OneSkin. Treating the symptoms rather than the root causes of aging has long been the norm. Most skincare available on the market is designed to provide a temporary reduction in visible signs of aging, addressing just the surface symptoms of an underlying decline in skin health. In a third-party 12-week clinical study performed by a third-party research organization, OS01 Face was clinically proven to strengthen the skin barrier, improve skin health markers, and diminish visible signs of aging. Wrinkles were diminished by 87% of users. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. Get started today with 15% off using code MIDAS at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code MIDAS. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you.
And then you have, again, these Democrats going on the offense. Like, here is Pete Buttigieg on CNN talking about how J.D. Vance was such a regrettable VP selection. I like the way he does it elegantly, right? Regrettable. Here, play this clip.
Do you think that there's someone she could pick as her vice president that would make him regret that choice?
Well, again, that's going to be her call, her process. But what I will say is that the choice of J.D. Vance is a regrettable choice because he's somebody who was at his most convincing and effective when he talked about how unfit for office Donald Trump is. And he has not explained any reason, other than, of course, his obvious interest in power, why he would have changed his mind on that. Remember, J.D. Vance's whole identity is that he is connected to Appalachia, a place that is being hurt so profoundly by the opioid crisis. So the fact that he didn't just refer to Donald Trump as an idiot, though he didn't just say all kinds of things about how he was terrible, but compared Donald Trump to opioids, that is literally the darkest, most negative thing someone connected to Appalachia could possibly say about a politician. And that was in public, right? In private, he was comparing him to Hitler, reportedly. He has yet to explain why his opinion would be any different other than his own search for power.
And then you have Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren. Here's what she had to say. Play the clip.
Before I let you go, I have to ask, what do you make of when Republicans criticize Harris as a DEI hire, but J.D. Vance, who has much less experience in government, they don't say the same about him?
Oh, are you asking me the double standard question? Yeah. Look, Kamala Harris is enormously qualified to be president of the United States. We are so lucky that she is bringing our party together. She is ready to go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump. And here's the scariest part to the Republicans. She can win on November 5th. They're going to say everything they can. But the reality is that's what the American people are going to see. And that's what's going to pay off come November 5th.
And then you just get this weirdo interview here with Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. It looks so strange where Trump is still talking about provoking war with one of America's biggest trading partners. Just watch this.
To get elected. Mexico, are strikes against the cartels still on the table?
Absolutely.
Even against our biggest trading partner?
Absolutely.
This was earlier on Fox. This is MAGA Republican Senator from Montana, Steve Daines. He tried to take a shot at Kamala Harris. Play this clip.
Remember, Joe Biden was the kid that grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, the Irish Catholic kid. Kamala Harris is from San Francisco. She's a San Francisco liberal, a San Francisco radical.
And then you had Jessica Tarlov on Fox, and she's an incredible pro-democracy advocate who they still let on Fox. Here's what she had to say.
We are unburdened. We are here living in the context of where we are, what the passage of time. Inject all of it into my veins at this moment. I am on the bus, and I plan to be there for the next 3.5 months.
Here's one more clip of Tarlov. Play the clip.
And you're seeing the public react. It's not just Democrats, it's swing voters as well. I mean, $100 million in donations, 1.1 million unique donors, 62% are first-time donors.
And so here is when I had George Conway on the MeidasTouch show recently. I interviewed him. He was great. He created a PAC called the Anti-Psychopath PAC. And here's what he had to say with the framing of kind of all of these clips that you see. He says the election is very simple. Watch this.
I've always thought this election was relatively simple. 2016, Trump won because Hillary became the issue. Somehow they got Trump to read off a teleprompter for a few weeks at the end. 2020, Trump was the incumbent. He was the issue because of his behavior, because of Clorox, because of everything. And what happens again this year is whoever becomes the issue loses. And the problem that we were having over the last 3 or 4 weeks was that Joe Biden was becoming the issue when Donald Trump has to be the issue. And now Donald Trump isn't going to be able to avoid being the issue. I think his campaign has been very wisely trying to keep him under wraps as much as possible, which is hard to do because of his narcissism. And you can't tell him, guys, you're better off if nobody sees you. So that's what they did during the primary, and then during the trial in New York actually enabled him to stay off the radar screen. But now he's back on the radar screen, and now people can see him, people can judge him. They saw him Thursday night. He had a good night at the debate. Now he's the old man in the race. Now, after having raised the issue of cognitive decline, he's the only one left who that argument applies to. And so he's got a big problem. And the other thing is now that the Democrats have a nominee and are united behind a nominee, this is the time to go right back on offense. This is the way that Trump loses. Trump loses if he is the issue. And the other thing, Trump helps us on that because Trump is a narcissist and he can't help but make himself the issue. He wants to be the issue. He wants to be the center of attention. And that, in the end, I think, is what would defeat him.
Well, anyway, tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. The Fox meltdown continues.
Hey, Meidas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.